and welcome back. You're watching The Money Show. It's time, as is always, for our Spend with TMS segment. And today we'll be throwing the spotlight on new tech and new gadgets available in the market. We haven't done that in a while now, and we're welcoming back as well after a while Nikhil Chawala, the founder of the Unbiased blog. Nikhil, hi, great to have you back with us. I hope the pandemic has relatively been a little more kind, and less harsh to you in the second wave. So Nikhil, so many topics to discuss with you, given the fact that we are meeting after a while. But one of them is that in the last 1 year, Indians' proclivity, affinity to wearable devices, earphones, wristwear, so on and so forth. Pardon the fact that I'm not very friendly with the jargon that's used, but you get my gist. That these wearable devices, these hands-free devices, is something that Indian customers have really gotten very enthusiastic about. Nikhil, if today you had to buy either a earpiece or a wristwear, what are the features that you would want to watch out for?
Absolutely, you're completely right, because the thing is, the lifestyle has changed. The new normal or the next normal that we're living in, the pandemic lifestyle, is definitely something that we all need our me time, because we're all together at home. So we all need those privacy moments, that me time, that work hours, and we have to shuffle and juggle between those. So these things that, like personal audio, where I'm wearing AirPods or any other product that is personal audio, like a headphone with mic for people who are doing a lot of calling or, attending a lot of Zoom calls or doing online conferences. So these sales have boosted over the time. And the reason for that is obviously the lifestyle that we're living in. And who am I to judge, because I wear two wearables in both the wrists. So that is something that, that we've all gone into. The reason that is because, first of all, as I mentioned, it's about the lifestyle change that we focused on. And the best thing about fitness wearables or, smart watches or fitness band is that it tells you the information that you need without going to the doctor, which is really important nowadays. How you're sleeping, how you're breathing, what's your, heartbeat, what's your SpO2. You don't need separate devices for these. Watches like Apple Watch can do your ECG on your wrist. And it's a habit forming, device. It's not just giving you stats like your numbers or something like, how you slept. It gives you data. It tells you how to analyze it. It tells you to wash your hands, reminds you to take a deep breath, release that stress. All these things are habit forming. And I really think if people are wanting to invest in these gadgets, first of all, I'll point out towards the headphones or the earphone segment. I think first more important thing is if your phone or device has an audiophone jack, go wired, definitely. Don't worry about the battery life. Don't have to worry about, if it'll connect, the Bluetooth connectivity. Go with a wired headset, wired earphone, whatever works for you. If you really want that freedom, you want wireless, a lot of things, there are a lot of options available. It starts as low as 1,000 rupees now, and obviously goes up till sky's the limit. So if you are depending on your budget, be focused if you want cover like a headphone, if you want just little ones, earphones, like AirPods. So that's also your personal preferences. Some people definitely say AirPods are no, because they want their heads to be covered. They can definitely look at the headphones then. So again, if you have a wired option where there is an audio jack, definitely consider that, because you don't have to worry about battery. You don't have to worry about anything else like connectivity. If not, then Bluetooth devices start as low as 1,000 rupees, goes up till sky's the limit again. Then comes to wearables. Wearables, consider the fact that you would need a separate SpO2 sensor, which has somehow, alas, skyrocketed the price, which was generally 800 rupees due to the pandemic, has gone up to 3,000, 5,000 rupees. If that is on your wrist, you don't have to worry about it. It's always monitored, and you don't have to, take it out, check it out, and it's your personal thing. So your SpO2 data is always there, which is important nowadays. We all need to, monitor that levels. Then if you want really precision data, which I always advise everybody to go for devices like Fitbit. If you're not in the ecosystem of Apple, Fitbit is a great device. If you're in Apple ecosystem, then look at Apple Watch SE or Apple Watch Series 6, which gives you option to ECG and all. But, there are bands that will be there for 900 rupees, 1,000 rupees, 1,500 rupees. But then precision is the matter. And in terms of health, I don't think so. You should, consider if just about steps, then obviously you can go for any band. But if you're considering getting your SpO2, your heartbeat, and get all the analytics, then consider something like a Fitbit, which starts low as 8,000 rupees, goes again till 25,000, 30,000 rupees, depending on what all features, models, and what you need. But if you are really serious about health data, consider a Fitbit or an Apple Watch, depending on what ecosystem you are. And the good thing is that Fitbit works with both ecosystem, Android or Apple. So you can consider that even if you change your ecosystem later, it always works. So that's about it, about these personal devices that have really grown up. And the reason I'm saying that is that nobody wants to go to a doctor right now. Nobody wants to visit the hospital right now. And if you get all the data on your wrist, you always monitor yourself. You can stay healthy, stay safe, stay at home.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the key reasons why I would even consider, buying one of those wristwatches is because of this constant need to keep checking, your pulse, your oxygen. I'm not sure how many of these devices actually do allow you to check in on your oxygen. But yeah, I guess it's become a part of our lives in these last few months, really, to keep checking in on all of those important parameters. That could be one of the reasons why, wristbands, wristwatches have grown so exponentially in the last 1 year. Nikhil, the Apple event, I'm sure you had, you were all eyes and ears at this Apple event that took place. They released the new iOS 15, lots of interesting features, lots of exciting ones. What really stood out for you? How have they made Apple, and the OS that it uses better and stronger?
Absolutely. It was like an all-nighter for all of us who follow tech and Apple, and I was no exclusion. So it was an interesting event because, it gave us an overview of all the operating system changes that are happening to iPhones, iPads, Mac OS, tvOS, and even watchOS, and how they'll get better over the time. And in these 6 months, developers and testers like me will be testing it. And by the time the device is launched, like the next iPhone will come around in September, that will ship with the latest iOS 15. For now, we're just testing it as developers, and there will be a public beta preview in July or later. So in standout features that I would say that the core of Apple is always about privacy and, putting customer first. And they have somehow even enhanced it further, because after iOS 14.5 release, I thought they have really crushed it, and they've really, made it a shell now, because even advertisers could not see your data, your location and all that. And each app had to ask you if they can track your data. And obviously people who were privacy conscious would say not to track. And I thought that was the end of it. And still Apple came up with great amount of features, protection features, safety features that really enhance the privacy of the users. Apart from that, really, really big changes to the core of OS, like the FaceTime now can be made to a friend who has an Android phone or a Windows laptop. So the FaceTime is evolving in a way, and you can like Zoom, you can send links to people. If you're an Apple device user, you can send FaceTime links, schedule it. A lot of these changes. Then there is a lot of multitasking that has been enabled on the iPad OS, which really makes it like a pro device. You can even now code or develop an app on an iPad for iOS and Android. So that 30,000 rupees device can make you a developer. You can develop apps on that. This is a big enhancement. And, it gives you a tool that does a lot more. So these kind of enhancements, then there are hundreds of feature updates, but I'm just talking about the prominent ones, the features that really attracted me. So these were the few changes that I felt really, really, really changed the way. And, if you talk about the whole ecosystem on a whole, now you can use a single mouse and a keyboard across your devices, be a Mac, iPad, or iPhone. That really makes sense because, not switching between devices is just that, it senses which screen you're typing on, and you can start typing on either of the screens when they're there. Then a lot of enhancements, it's just endless.
Nikhil, I wanted to get in your opinion on the OnePlus Nord, the OnePlus television as well, but my producer tells me we're out of time, so we're going to have to wrap it up. Thank you so much, Nikhil. As always, it's a pleasure hearing from you. And getting a lay of the, what the gadget universe is like at this juncture. Thanks so much once again for joining me.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
You can, of course, catch this entire conversation that we had with Nikhil on YouTube as you look to purchase either your new wearable device or, of course, the latest product from Apple. But with that, we're out of time on The Money Show. Thanks for watching.